Okay, so Angelica, we're here at the SPARKS Center now at Sheridan. So now tell us what it is that we're doing here.
Okay, so this is where Pipeline originally started.
Right.
This is where we began our very strong relationship with Sheridan, not only in the academic side, but also in the research side of things.
Okay.
It is an incubator program.
Right.
So at this point, after we were here at the Spark building for about 4 years.
Right.
And now we split up and we have another location in Hamilton, which is the one that we were in earlier. So we split it up in a way that we are able to maintain here our TDs and research department,
Right.
which in conjunction with Sheridan, we work in many different technology venues to continue to innovate and continue to progress.
That's great. And they're already coming out of the center really knowing what you need in the
Yes.
industry. So you're really
Yes.
prepping them from start to finish.
Yes.
That's great. Well, how about we just take a walk through and see what all the animators are doing? Because I found some of the stuff that you do here very different than what we saw in the Hamilton
Yes.
location. So that's great. So we'll just take a quick walk through. So now, this used to be all yours, and I see the
Yes.
motif of kind of keeping
Pipeline,
through a
yes.
Pipeline Studios
course.
still rendering here. So now, what do we have in this section?
So here we have our TDs, our technical directors, which are the ones that at the end of all of the teams having gone through their part of the process, through the pipeline,
Right.
it comes to them for them to put together, composite, render, and then be able to deliver.
Sure.
So
sure.
rendering is a big part of the animation process. Not all animation studios offer the facilities for rendering, but we do. And
Okay.
we've been able to expand and continue to make our processes more efficient in a way that allows us to be able to give the rendering services.
Right, right.
So
That's
it's,
wonderful.
It's key. It's very
It
important.
looks like you have a lot of teams, and of course, once again, this is an extension of what you do in Hamilton.
Yep.
But you know, who does what in this particular area? It looks like on the right-hand side, we've got a lot of different 3D rendering,
Yes.
and the left side, it looks like more of the things children watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you can elaborate a bit on that.
So this is still part of the continuation process of the teams set up for the different productions that we also have in Hamilton, which is Backyard Bubble Guppies and Babar.
Right.
Hanny Manny was also done here in part. So on the other side, though, we have a research process that we just started with Sheridan about a year ago.
Right.
They wanted to kind of delve into the steroscopic technology.
Wow, and that's a big one.
Yes, it is a big
Stereoscopic
one.
is becoming a big discussion
Yes.
everywhere. So.
So we came up with an idea, with a project. We presented it, and it says like we can do this in stereoscopic. And in conjunction, we went through the whole research process of doing it, and we came up with a project.
That's great.
To be done in stereoscopic.
That's great. Well, let's go and take a look and see what the guys are doing here.
Sure.
So maybe you can walk us through it a bit. So what do we have here?
Okay.
Yeah, sure. We can
Here?
look at the
Okay.
stereoscopic side.
Stereoscopic size first. So Victor and Joel here are working on different aspects of this project. It's called Peregrina. And Victor can tell us a little bit more about it.
Great, Victor. So let us know what you're doing here.
So essentially, it's compositing the frames, so putting them together. We just render the frames, both left and right cameras, slightly different angles that would match your eyes, I guess.
Right.
And they're just through this program, they're just composited, put together, so the different layers are put in,
Great.
clouds and such, atmosphere.
Right. Now, is this something that you think is going to go to television eventually? Is it more stereoscopic being broadcast, or is this something that you're kind of doing for like a games-based training or things like that?
It's more of a film. type.
Yeah? That's fantastic. Looks very interesting. Thanks for that. And what do we have on this side?
On this side, they're working on Babar. So, and this is Ron, one of our technical directors.
Great.
Hi.
Hi. So what do we have here, Ron? Just walk us through it a bit.
This is a scene from Babar. This is basically what the animators are working on this right hand of the screen.
Right.
So our job for our department is to take all the assets and all the elements, render it, and basically our rendering process, it gets rendered to different layers.
Right.
And it goes through composite, where on the left hand of the screen, you'll see different type of layers that gets, I guess, mashed up into one pretty picture.
Right.
Which you'll see on camera. Basically, our final product is going to be shown on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I notice on the right-hand side, there's nothing in the picture frame yet. There's something in the picture frame on the left, so I can see you're doing your different layers on that right off the bat.
yeah, so basically on this right hand of the screen is the 3D part of our department.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the animators go in, move the characters around, and
I see.
They do the fixes. The directors will call for revisions, and once those revisions are done, and basically our job is to take those revisions, re-render it, and composite, and this is the final product that will come out.
That's great. Wow. Well, thanks for showing us that. That's awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
So, now, Angelica, a lot of this stuff, this is where all the lighting and everything happens in the
Yes.
3D render stream, right? So they're doing more of the final product that actually goes out to be televised. Is that what their
Yes.
last step is here, really?
Well, no, it usually comes from, well, you get the story, you get the script, they do the voice recordings.
Right.
Then they go into modeling. For CG, will be modeling
Right.
More than design. They do what is called a fun pack, which is where they create all of the assets. In CG, they do the modeling. So that's where they use geometry to give form and shape and that dimension and feel
Right.
to the characters.
Okay.
So once they go through that and they go through the rigging, which basically gives them the structure so the animators can make them move.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
And then the animators will get them, and then they will act out
Oh.
the scenes.
Wow, that's
Basically,
interesting.
They understand all of the concepts of movement and volume and
Right.
shape, and so they can act everything out.
Right.
And lighting and texturing, everything is done to give and the backgrounds and the
Right.
map painting and all of these processes. All of the teams start working on the same episode almost at the same time. They start to overlap,
Right.
and then it just goes out.
I see. I see.
So at some point, all of the teams are working basically. Continuous communication is key.
Right. Right.
Because one team will need what the team before has done to be able to continue on, but
Sure.
they're overlapping all the time, really.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
How do they communicate? Because everybody looks like they have their small snippets that they do, and it has to be done at a certain time.
Yeah.
How does everybody know when their job is now finished and completed and ready to be tacked on to the next person's part?
Yes, well, there's production management tools in which they will upload the work that has been done, so they can be revised. They can be what they called in revisions. So they will call, no, you know what, make them move this way, or it was just a little
Right.
bit too much, or we need more lighting in this way.
I gotcha.
So in the production management tool, then they can all see what step everybody is on and what has been ready to, okay, it's ready to animate. Okay, it's ready for rendering.
Right.
So they'll grab them and continue the process through the pipeline.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So now, these guys are doing kind of the same job, or are they specific once again to a particular?
Right now,
Part.
some of them are animating, some of them are doing TD and other shows.
Right.
Or no. Usually here, right now, my modelers are on break.
Yeah.
They'll come back in about 2 weeks to start the next season of Bubble Guppies
Right.
for Nick Jr.
And that's a great show.
It is a
Yeah,
great show.
yeah, it
yes.
is. There's lots of kids that love that one.
Yeah. So, and the models are the ones, as I was saying, the ones that actually build the characters for the production itself.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. So now all of these stations are pretty much packed. I've been in here a
Yes.
few times with Sheridan doing a few things, and I've seen people go really right to the back almost. I mean,
Yes.
this place is packed when it's up and running and full steam ahead.
Yes, yes. Sue is our lighting supervisor. She
Hi.
is the lighting queen.
So, the lighting queen. Let's see do we have any lighting things that we can look at?
Just